Hey everyone, welcome back to yet another episode of GenAI Vlog. So previously we talked about how to download the model artifact of DeepSeek R1 model from Hugging Face, just like what's shown here on this diagram. And what's happening is we push the artifact of DeepSeek model onto an S3 bucket. Now everything is within the firewall. And then we went to Bedrock on AWS to import a model that's backed by the artifact on our bucket. And then we built a Lambda function and stood up an API to invoke it. So now that this function is done, you can, of course, run it in a Python in a Jupyter notebook, right? But it still requires programmatic access. So in this episode, what we're going to talk about is how to build a small user interface such that you can pack it up in an image in a Docker container, and then you can allow user on the front end click things around, enter some sentences in a simple way to interact with your model. Wouldn't that be nice, right? This way, you don't really need programmatic access. So that's what we're here today. We're going to talk about how to pack everything together nicely in a small, simple UI using Streamlit package in Python. And in the end, we're going to use Docker to run that app to see what we got. So right off the bat, here is the GitHub URL. You can, of course, clone this, download it, and run it locally. Everything is in the app folder. So we click in the app folder. There are a couple of artifacts, right? There's a helper script. That is where that invoke URL sits. And we have a helper function built around that. And then in the same folder, we also have an app.py. This is the front end, right? This is the front end language that's backed by Python using Streamlit package. You have a couple of the slider bars to allow user to change the parameters. And then we have some sort of a session here managing the history of the conversation. And boom, just like that, we're going to invoke it. We're going to get some message back. So that is the front end of the app. And last but not least, we have a Docker file, right? Docker file is going to set up Python environment, set up your working directory, copy everything into the container, install dependencies, and then expose that app on a port 8501. So it's a very straightforward logic. And what we're going to do is we're going to run this locally to show you guys what that looks like. So here I'm in my virtual environment, and let me show you my directory. I'm in the directory of app.py, Docker file, helper script, things like that. Every artifact is on the left-hand side in the same directory. And now all I gotta do is do a Docker run because I already installed it. And then I'm going to expose it on port 8501. And the model I built using Docker is called DeepSeek chatbot. We run it. This is going to fire up an app, right? So you can click on that URL where you can go to Docker, scroll down. You see that this image is up and running, right? Here it says 9 seconds ago. That makes sense because I literally just fired this up. So all I got to do is click on this link, right? Localhost 8501. Click on that, and it will take me to this web browser. So this app is ran locally on a Docker image, and now I can talk to it, right? So in order to make the demo speed faster, I'm going to decrease the token size, and then I'm going to say something philosophical, right? Because this is a reasoning model. So I want to say something philosophical. What is 1 plus 1? Isn't it 2, but it also sounds like an assumption, right? What if 1 plus 1 equals to 0? How do we resolve this problem, right? So I sending something philosophical, and hopefully I can get a DeepSeek to open up its conversation. And we're just going to sit here and see what DeepSeek tell us, right? I'm expecting some sort of reasoning, and let's see. Maybe I need to think about the context. In regular arithmetic, 1 plus 1 is definitely 2. But in some other systems, like binary or modular arithmetic, it might be different, right? For example, in binary, 1 plus 1 equals to 10. In module 2, 1 plus 1 equals to 0. And then you kind of get the idea, right? Somewhere down here, it's going to stop. I think this is kind of like the middle of a sentence. I noticed this a while ago. I thought this is interesting, right? Because this, end of the day, is a text generation model. So if I limit the token size, and the sentence might be cut in half, especially in the end of the paragraph. So a couple of things here and there, it could be interesting. But here you go, here's an idea, right? Complete end-to-end solution with a model hosted within the firewall on our own S3 bucket so that you don't have to send data to a Chinese company, So there you go. Hopefully you like this episode. Hopefully this episode sheds some light of how to interact with your model within the firewall using the API that you stood up yourself. And hopefully this gives you some idea of how to allow user to interact with your model in a safe environment. Thank you for watching. Subscribe and like.